Welcome everyone. This is the 16th December here, and we are left with 2 days before the week ends, and then we go off on holidays. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Hope no one's overtrading. This is the month of December, last month of the year, obviously, but at the same time, we have to stay very calm because the new year is going to start in 2021, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of opportunities in 2021. So starting off, let me just see my mic is okay. My mic is okay, running good. Audio is running good. People in here, no problems. All right, we got the Gulag gang coming in here too. So first of all, what we like to start off with in this live stream is that we're going to do some sort of a basic breakdown here on the daily time frame. So we're going to remove all analysis here and we're going to do a fresh analysis. So looking at the daily time frame, it does seem like the daily candles came up to retest, 139.770. So we got to go down to the 4-hour time frame and let's see what's going on. Looking on the 4-hour, we basically created a support around 139.280, and it seems like this 4-hour candle can continue up to probably like fill the wick around 139.760. So if we measure, this is around 16 pips away, but then again we got another resistance around 60 pips away at 140.200. So now the question is, are we going to head off to 140.200 or not? So let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame here. Let's see what's going on. So on the 1 hour, this candle is about to close in 23 minutes. This seems like a bearish candle, so bearish candle also means some sort of resistance at this point. There was a resistance created here as well, which we kind of broke up during London session, and now we're coming up towards this area. So let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Looking at the 30-minute, we basically do have a resistance at this point. We also have a support right over here, right here. Awesome. So we got a range here now. Now, this is also very important. The reason why it's important is because if you look at it from a perspective of, okay, what's going to make it go up? If price is going to come up above, or let's say if you got a candle closing above 139.640, because the previous candle is here, this is why we have to wait for the candle to close right here above this area. Above this area, this candle rejected. So we need a candle closing above this area to justify that, all right, now this candle is gonna, it may make the next candles go up, right? Or if this is a support, and if we get a candle closing below this area, or we get a candle closing maybe breaking below these wicks, then we can anticipate price to continue falling down and eventually come fill this wick at around 139.300. So let's measure how big this range is if it's going to continue down. So if we measure this range, this is like a 22 pip range, pretty good range. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Got some waiting involved now. Hello, love from Saudi Arabia. Oh, hello, love from Canada. Let's take a look at gold over here. Actually, we have FOMC here today, so I'm not sure whether gold's gonna have any movements or not. We also had some euro news. Gonna look at the euro here. Pound, good news, went up a little bit. Okay, so we got CAT CPI and we got retail sales for USD. It's gonna be interesting. Retail sales for USD. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Then we got FOMC later on. They're keeping the rates the same. This is going to be the real moving factor of the USD, the press conference they have after that. So let's take a look at this first chart over here. This is rejections at resistance, entry candle once the candle breaks the low of the previous candle. I don't know where this candle broke the low, but okay. Oh, your arrow should be pointed at this candle right over here. Okay, TP 10 pips. Okay, it's pretty good. Missed this trade with 4 pips from entry, didn't chase the trade. All right, yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, that was a trade. But at the same time, I wouldn't look at this as a good sell, because whenever price is trending and you're looking for a selling position, you're waiting for a support to form. You have to wait for support to form. When a support is formed and price breaks that support, that's going to be a really good sell. But if you're taking a sell without a support being formed, that's a pretty immature sell too. At times it may work out, but there'll be times where it won't work out. So it's always better to wait for some sort of confirmation, wait for the support to form. So this candle is now coming back up again. Now the problem with this candle breaking these highs is because, we had this candle breaking up before. So So I think it's going to be much better to wait for at least the 15-minute candle to close above here, and then look for buying opportunities after this candle closes bullish. It's going to close in like 5 minutes here. Gold is also apparently at this resistance. This is the resistance we had in the from yesterday at 1865. Next target is 1868 if we break above this area. Yeah, look at this 1 hour candle here. Let's check out this chart here. This is price made a high, came down, candle closed bullish, creating support, leaving a wick. TP hit 20 pips, very nice. Price came down, created support with volume, came back up to retest the high. I mean, amazing. Super easy. Oh wow, this thing is moving now in the last 4 minutes, 5 minutes. See, the only problem I have is that if this, because this candle also moved up and then it rejected. So this is the only problem. If it's moving up, is it just going to be one candle moving straight bullish, or is this going to look left and kind of like reject a little bit and give the opportunity for the next candle to move up? You know, this is where things get a little like, you know, iffy. Oh wow, yeah, it's gone. This is just one candle gone over here. Ooh, GJ, let's take a look left here.
Good morning, GJ.
Yeah, looks like we're coming up towards 139,900 tapped. We got an area at 139,950.
Yeah, going straight to 140.
Straight to 140. Yeah, we got wicks over there too. Let's take a look left over here. Yeah, this whole area, this is a rejection area, and then we have 140,200 up over here.
But Roger, was there an opportunity to take this trade? I don't think so, because I took trades on the GJ today. As you see, the left bigger wick, I take some buys, but the same problem as now. There was no candle closed, and it goes straight back and hit my stop loss.
Oh, you took buys when candle broke above this high over here?
Exactly, yes. There was just 1 or 2 minutes left, and I thought, come on, man. And I took it, and 3 or 4 or 5 minutes later, it came back, as you can see in this candle, and I closed it.
Yeah.
So it looks the same now. I don't know if it stays above 139,644, then I think we can make it. But at this moment, I think the GJ today is really wicking.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't anything right over here. I mean, if price was moving up, it's better to wait for a support to form and then take a buy on that support so that you can support that buy going up, right? And this is also where impulse entries are pretty crazy, because the best impulse entries are going to be when price is ranging and then it starts to break out. You know, so when I look back at this in hindsight, maybe a position was when the 1 hour candle broke above the high over here. That's the only thing I can see looking back now. Other than that,
it was a vaccine news.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Let's see here. Oh, it's not loading here, so.
It's an update on 140,000 people got vaccinated in the UK.
Oh yeah. A lot more are slowly gonna get vaccinated.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look here. Can you take a look at this chart? Euro GBPJPY, respected resistance and downtrend with news. Open position with 30-minute candle closed like a healthy bearish candle. I used trend line when I saw these wicks. TP 10 pips. Beautiful. Yeah, you played on this volume to come down. Rejection here. It worked out really well. Yeah, so what I would want to see now is some sort of a consolidation again and then go up. Now when I'm really looking at this, I think this was a really good opportunity right here when the 1 hour broke above the high here. on the 1 hour bearish candle, because we can classify that as a booby trap candle. You know, it's pretty good. Something to, like, you know, maybe look at this next time it happens. That's okay.
Yeah, and also the body of the bearish candle was really small.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Let's take out this thing here. Buys above with a 15-minute candle, stays above for the next 15-minute candle going up. Buys may test the high at 1.35. Oh, I think the same thing happened on GU here as well. But let's take a look here and see if that was an opportunity, if that had like a better confirmation here. Looking at the 30-minute was bullish. Yeah, I think GU had a much better confirmation here for buys. Look at this. We had support, we had a resistance here, we had the 30-minute candle closing strong bullish, and the only buy. Okay, let me just mute everybody here. And the only buy was once we broke above the high over here on the 1 hour candle to continue up. This was simple because the 30-minute candle closed bullish, and this one just was rocketing up. On pound, it wasn't kind of like the case like that because we had one candle rejecting here, but I guess
Es wird spannend.
the 1 hour breaking the high here.
Immer spannend.
All right.
Ich habe halt keinen Druck.
What's this? I got in an impulse and just cashed out 21 pips. Thankful to God in the stream. Oh, nice. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is GJ. Buys about 139,700. No trade. Sells below here. Yeah, looks good. No trade. I think this no trade zone could also be like a trade zone over here. No trade zone. This is a trade zone because if price breaks support, you have clean wicks here to the downside, so they become targets. Is there still a way to get into buys? Serious question. See, that's what I'm looking at, and probably not at this time. Probably not. What I would want to see is maybe some sort of a retracement, a support form to continue up, or maybe also some sort of a bearish candle forming here, and then probably an impulse entry once we break above the highs to continue up. And I think the target is going to be 140,200. We're going to reach 140,200. Yeah, we got clean candles here on the 4 hour too, so it's better to wait to see if that opportunity does come around or not. All right, let's take a look here. This is GU. Took pre-London on break of 30-minute first time. I closed all positions and it flew. Oh, yeah, that's where your runners run. You know, most times we close out everything thinking that the runner is not going to run. And whenever we close out everything, the runners keep on running. I mean, you know, the price keeps on running. So what I've seen is like 20% of the time, the price will continue running. You know, but most of the time, it will always come and stop you at break even. Happens all the time. Would you mark the top of the wick 139,759? Oh, right over here, 759. Oh, well, that's broken here anyway. Oh, some people did execute on the buys over there on GJ. All right, let's take a look at your GPY here. So your GPY, let's do some fresh analysis looking at the daily time frame. Man, oh man, daily is in a problem over here. Look at this consolidation on your GPY. Jesus. How many days this is? This is around 2 weeks of consolidation. Can you imagine? 2 weeks. 4 hour time frame is also in a range here. You got support, you got resistance up over here, you got clean range about 126, 180. Looking on the 1 hour time frame, it kind of seems like we created a high up over here at 126, 170, 180, and now we're kind of trying to continue to go back up. So I think a break above 126, 160, 170 would be a pretty good idea for price to continue up. Yeah, it's like a 20 pip range, 23 pip range. Pretty nice over there. But looking at this opportunity right over here, what we see is that we're maybe creating a support. And if we break the support, then we can continue down because we got clean candles to the left hand side too. How do you draw your rectangles like that, dragging out all the way? It's pretty easy. You bring out your rectangle, you draw it, you right click it, you go to settings, and then yeah, oh yeah, right here, extend to the right, extend to the left. You choose this, there you go. All right, so if we break above 139.940, can we continue on towards 140.100? This candle is also about to close in like 9 minutes. Overall, would still be risky, so I'll be better to stay out. Oh. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. 10-minute candle closed above, broke the high, I got in. Oh, nice. Very nice. 10-minute time frames. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, man, candle patterns, candle confirmations, they work on all on all time frames. You know, so if you saw it in the 10-minute, amazing. I can't stop thinking about how good it was on the 1 hour time frame. And I can't stop thinking about why I didn't notice this. It's really frustrating. I should have noticed this. You know, sometimes when you're looking at the charts and you see a flaw in yourself and you like kind of really criticize it, you get really anal with it. I see that flaw here. I should have noticed it, but I didn't.
Roger,
Hey.
I don't want to cut you off, because I've seen this happen a few times, right? When there's like a wick. So if we drop into the 30-minute candle, if we drop into, well, we are 30-minute time frame, yeah. So the previous 11:30 candle closed, it tried to break the high, it didn't, and it closed back in the range, right? And the reason why I didn't take this trade was because I would have at least waited for a 15-minute bullish. So for the first 15-minute, yeah, if we drop into the 15-minute time frame now, so if we had a 15-minute bullish, like a small bullish candle, and then the next one could have break the highs. I've seen it where it goes like this, where it would go and break the high, but it would pull back in. So with this setup, just due to the previous 30-minute closing back in the range, I think it drops the chances to like 50-50, because I mean, if it closes above the range, then we're looking at, yeah, we could break the highs and continue on. But when it drops back in the range, I feel like with the impulse entries in this position, it drops it back into a 50-50 chance, especially when there's a wick like the red candle. I think it is for me, it's the 8:30 candle where it's wicked up and come back into the range as well. But I mean, considering it now, I think the only way we could get back into this trade is if we break these 30-minute highs again.
One thing is, the 1 hour time frame here, again, I'm going to repeat, this wasn't a 50-50. This was a higher chance of price moving up. Even though on the 30-minute, you had this candle come down, but in the 1 hour, once you have the candle breaking the high over here, and you're also looking at the fact that, okay, if we ranged after London Open, and if you start thinking about, okay, when there's going to be next time there's going to be volume in the market, it's very apparent that the next volume in the market is going to be at pre-New York. You know, so this is the pre-New York session. Even though the 30-minute came back in the range, you think it's a 50. I agree with this, but looking on the 1 hour, it made perfect sense once we broke above the high to continue up. Yeah.
I was in the trade since 5 a.m. So in previous candle, when it came back in the range, I closed at the break even and assuming like when it will break and close above that, I will re-enter, but it went up in next candle.
Yeah.
Raja, real quick, you just mean the prior high of the 1 hour candle?
Yes. Right here.
Got it. Thanks.
What about stop loss?
Hey, Raja.
Hey.
Hey, Raja. I'm not trading this morning, logged on a little bit late, but I saw that bearish close on the 1 hour. I mean, that's a go-to candle we usually execute on. My question to you is, do you typically, or in this scenario, would you put your stop loss under the 30-minute candle, or would you have done it under the 1 hour?
It would have been under the current 30-minute candle that was breaking above.
Okay.
So execution on the 1 hour, but if you measure the stop from here, it's gonna be like a 16, 17 pip stop. So when you go down to so if the 1 hour candle is breaking above, that means the second half of the 30-minute candle is also moving up. So then you're looking at stops below the 30-minute, which is breaking above. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I didn't know, maybe since the confirmation was on the 1 hour, you're gonna have a 1 hour stop loss.
Oh,
here.
okay. No, we got to get a little creative with these things.
Raja, the way it's coming back, if it like retrace to the support, do you think it's a good idea to buy?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a confirmation. Because right now it's not a good idea to take a buy at this point because there are no confirmations. Once we broke the high at 139,678, expecting okay. So, so you took a buy. I can't see it. Move the trade to break even, taking 30% position. Impulsive buy on this candle over here. Okay. Oh, nice. It was a little risky again because price is ranging, so we don't know whether it's going to break down or break up. But it worked for you. It's pretty good. Next time, just be careful with these ideas. What's your nickname? Creams? Yeah, pricing cream a trader really easy. So you gotta be careful sometimes. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is buys above the 1 hour candle. Secured 10 pips close. Called by Sacha on his telegram. Oh, thanks. Oh, nice.
Raja, if you move over to the daily, the reason why we're having trouble at this level is essentially what I think everybody can see right now is all of this right here. So we've tapped into that. So if you were trading this and that original entry that people got, I think your safe area for that trade would have been up to this point here, because what you're looking at is you have bodies of the candles going right to that level, and then what ends up happening is the challenge will be now you have these wicks in the upper level, right? So as you're trying to take a trade over here, you're driving up, which you're obviously going through this traffic right here, but as you go higher into this area here, now you're going into a wick zone on the daily that could reject at any time. So as you plan your trade and as it pushes up, you may want to be cautious as we're going into that zone. Once this zone here creates a support, so once this zone here creates a support level, let me see if I can do that a little bit better. Once this creates a support, so we can see that candles are forming in this area. So as an example, we would have maybe candles doing something like this on the daily, up and down or whatever. If you had, that's where I'd be looking to take trades over in this area here and then drive up through that zone. It's just, you have to be cautious because you don't know if this daily candle has enough strength to push up, and we're gonna wait for another daily candle to come in and complete the run up. That's where I would just be cautious for people that are trying to trade within this area, is you're hitting a daily zone. So you may push through, but there may also be quick rejections. So you just have to manage the trade accordingly.
Yeah, this is also a problematic area right here too. 140, 139, 950, 140. Because if daily candles are coming up here, either it will start rejecting it again like it did before, or it's going to continue plying through. And I mean, That's what I'm waiting for. I mean, we did consolidate to go up, but if you start consolidating at this point here, and if the momentum is still bullish because there's optimism with the vaccines and stuff, we may start moving back up now. Here, looking on the weekly here too. Right? If this weekly comes above, 140, then I'm pretty sure we're going to see 141 next week.
Yeah, exactly, because you would have this area here. This would then be your target at this point. It'd be this candle right here. So essentially what'll happen is you'll get this move next week here to fill that. And then essentially what you've done is that the candle basically has mirrored that movement here, and then obviously this movement right over here to the candle to the left. And potentially you might get this smaller candle. So what you're doing is you're looking at this area here, and then essentially this area here, and then this area here. I think as a trader, if you're always focused on the bodies of the candles are the highway. The wicks are sort of the accidents. So, obviously the bodies of the candles are going to push you through a little bit more. Eventually you'll pass the accident. So eventually we'll get into this area again, but it's so quick. You just have to be aware that, it can reject at any given time, especially on your higher time frames.
Let's see here. Can you explain how exactly do we go about current situations like GU where price hasn't touched the current price in almost a year or so? Oh, okay. Let's take a look over here. GU. So where GU is right now, let's take a look on the weekly here. Let's take a look left. So this is a rejection area where GU is, right? So weekly candle, we can see previously it rejected this area. This is like back in 2018, right? And we tapped into that area there. So if you're looking from a higher time frame perspective, then you're looking to see that, okay, if we can continue up, then there's an opportunity for price to continue up to fill these wicks over here, right? And that's on the weekly time frame, which means it's going to take a long time based on the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the daily time frame, then we're going to go down to the 4-hour time frame, and we're going to focus on what we can achieve. So looking at the 1-hour time frame, we're currently trying to move bullish. Looking at a 30-minute here as well. Now, what we got to identify is that after we break above this area, when is going to be the next resistance we can reach? So if we measure, this is around 60 pips away, right? But obviously next resistance is not 60 pips away, so we'll have to swipe left over here, which is going to be far, far away. I'm not sure whether we can do that on 30-minute time frame. Probably not. Not even on the 4-hour or the 1-hour. Yeah, we can't. Even on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we can a little bit. All right, there we go. We got some information now on the 4-hour. So perfect. So this is a little bigger zone, a thicker zone. So I think the next area could be right up over here. 1.35, 600, which is like 20 pips away. And then the next one we have all the way up over here at 1.36 thousand. So let's go back to the current price action. And what we want to do is we want to make this zone a little narrower. Oh, okay, there we go. We're right over here. How do you remove this zone? Yeah, so basically above this area, got the next zone right up over there, looking left. Pound yen is also now kind of like slowing down. We made a high at around 139.920. Very nice. So if we start consolidating and then we start breaking above, then I think we can continue moving up. But I mean, if we start creating a support over here and someone tries to look for sells, this is not going to be enough range for sells. I think a better sell is going to be below this price, 139.500. because you got a bigger range over here. It's like a 22, 23 pip range, 25 pip range. Before starting the stream, did you leave the charts if you took a trade, maybe after 1 hour, or did you stay always 3 hours regardless, watching price action? You know what? Before, as far as I can remember, we've been having these New York session webinars for a very long time, even before the streams. I mean, we used to have webinars privately. We'd go for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So I don't think we would leave the webinars. We just stay up watching the charts to see what happens.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 2.5 years now doing this.
Yeah, been a long time. I guess that's where most of the discipline also came from, because like, you know, we'd wake up, take our 1 or 2 trades, and then we used to just keep on going to like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., not taking a trade. Sometimes, you know, guys would take trade and we're like, oh wow, oh nice one.
Yeah, we used to run till like late, till like 12, but we used to just hang on and just talk.
That's right. Yeah, I think if people are looking at gold today, we talked about this last night on the Asian stream with Mac. The move that you were supposed to catch, you would have caught during the London session. I think what you have is the issue that we talked about last night on the live stream on the Asian session under Mac, Alex Macedonian. We are hitting a daily zone. So if you go into the daily zone, I specifically talked about this last night. So this area here is going to be a problem, because what's happened is price drives up, but then has all this previous mess that it's going through to get to this top part here. So I told people as you came up to be very cautious that we may hit 1867, 1868, but then pull back. So you might find with the North American session right now for the next hour and a bit, there's going to be a pullback. And then what you may find is towards 8:30 Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern, the trend will continue. And I think we should hit 1868 either later today or tomorrow. It seems as though that is the target. And the reason why I say that is what we talked about last night is this is your clean candle move. This is your other candle. So you're looking for a mirror of that. And you can see we had the same move over here. Also, so what you'll be doing is the probability dictates that we're moving up to this level, probably finishing up at the top part of that, because we did go down in the same sort of manner. So you have a bit of a highway there. So if you are looking at gold, the move has already happened, to be honest. It may be very choppy for you now to get up to that 1868 level, but I wouldn't be looking at taking sells. Sells would only start to come if you break below this area over here. If this candle finishes bullish, I still need a bearish close for us to start dropping down at that point. So just be aware of that. Today might be a no trade with gold. And then what you may do is you may look and say, okay, perfect. If this starts to flip, then I'm going to take a trade and then I can mirror the previous candle. But at this point, you know, it's sort of a wait and see. I mean, it is dipping pretty hard right now, but that's usually what gold does. It'll retrace, you know, $5, $6 and then fly the other way again. So I would just be very cautious with gold because we did hit that daily area.
Do you start your analysis from the daily? Yes. Start from the daily and then you work your way down. So I think this is a really good move over here. Price moved up, came down, now it's coming down. So it's pretty good if it's retracing, because if it forms the support, I think we can continue moving bullish over here. So it's going to be worth it to wait to see how this all forms.
Hey there, Roger.
Hey.
So normally what I tend to do is that's a 30-minute close, and it's the nice strong close, and then I normally wait for like half that candle, like it on a 15-minute. I'll look at it, and then half that candle is where I would enter, like round about nowish, for it to go up. Like I'm just giving myself an arbitrary half the body, right? But because if you look at the 15-minute, now I'm looking at it, and it's normally I would have entered, but because that one's broke the low of the other one, it's likely that it's going to hit that support there, isn't it? And then bounce to create the support there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, normally I would have entered, but this one's like just putting me off, because the setup isn't what I'm normally used to.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is, if you break the 1 hour high, this is all the confidence I needed. Thanks. Oh, above here, over here. Very nice. TP hit at 139,900. Beautiful. Sorry, golden zone. Yeah, if this price is coming down, this is where it should create support and continue up to retest the high. This is going to be the signature trade over here if it does continue up to retest the high. But if it closes back in the range, then the buys become really sketchy at that point. So you'll have to wait and see. Now, if it comes back and closes back in the range, then this move up becomes a fake out, and then there's a higher probability for price to break below 139,500, which at that point, it's better to wait for that to happen here. What do you mean if it creates support? You mean if it forms the bullish candle at support? Yes. So whenever there's going to be a strong bullish candle closing after a series of bearish candles, that's going to be your support formed. There is a Telegram channel named Wicks Don't Lie. Does it belong to you? No, I'm not on Telegram. I don't do that Telegram stuff. Man, I'm finally famous now. I have fake profiles and fake channels on my name. Yes, made it. We made it. All right, let's take a look at this chart from the Gulag by Ayush Kano. Let's see what's going on over here. This is gold, 4 hour gold coming from this zone to pick up order to going down. Well, you gotta check the grocery cart of gold if it has really picked up those orders or not. Gotta make sure it checks out before it leaves. But what I can see is it's just coming back into this consolidation area, right? So you have to be good at like pointing out these areas. So this is a consolidation area. Price consolidated here before moving up. So I mean, you just gotta wait to see how this 1 hour candle is going to close in this area. And let's take a look on the 30 minutes. See same area right over here. So if we close above this area, there's a probability we can continue moving back up. But if we close back down, then it kind of gets a little difficult to know how far it's going to fall, because these are the only areas we can see around 1854. We break below there, we can continue down here in this 30 pip range. So now we're coming back and tapping into this area, so it's better to wait for price to close to see where it closes.
Also, the hour doesn't have a top wick, so
yeah, I think that's way too far away to be worried about that our candle having no top wick. Yeah. Can you explain why price grab orders to going up or down? Because that's how the candles move. If you have a 30-minute candle, it's going to move up to make a top wick and then move down to make a lower wick. If it's coming down, and if you think price is going to stay down, then you probably want this candle not to break the high of the previous one, which is like the retrace. I mean, that's how the candles basically move. They make top wicks and bottom wicks. I mean, that's the whole beauty about candles. It's so beautiful to see them move. And I mean, if you motions how candles are moving, it's never going to work out for you. I look at it in a way, I mean, it's challenging, but also at the same time when candles are moving, it's so, I mean, it's beautiful to see them move. I have a different perspective on these candles. Man, the way they move, they just tell you a story. Every candle moving is like a confirmation of something happening, and you just gotta identify what's happening here. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is pound yen 30-minute chart, waiting for retest to take a buy. Yeah, I'm kind of like looking at the same thing. Price comes down to create a retest to continue up or not. What is the retail price, bad or good? Yeah, I don't know what that question means. What is the retail price, bad or good? I don't know what that question is. There's always a Telegram group which has your course. It's not a course. What they have on Telegram are 2 webinars which are free on YouTube. So, I mean, if you YouTube it, you'll find it. They're free on YouTube. But if you pay for it, then you're probably getting scammed. Check Euro AUD. I think you need to send a chart on Euro AUD for us to check it. So if you look on pound USD here, and let's compare it with pound yen, right? See pound yen candle closed. This candle still open now. The 30-minute candle is also open now. It hasn't closed yet. But if you look at pound US dollar, we're coming back in the range over here. Right, so now this is where things get tricky. Now, for someone who thinks that pound yen and pound dollar move the same, this is where things are going to get a little tricky over here, because even though pound dollar was moving up based on the strength in pound, but now it's coming back in the range. If it starts coming back in the range, and if it starts moving down, then that means it's also being influenced by, you know, maybe a strong dollar. And if so, we'll have to see how these two move here as we move into the New York session. Bitcoin wants to break all-time high. That's true. I think with Bitcoin breaking all-time high, we have a lot of crypto people and some weird-ass coins breaking highs as well. And if you look on Instagram, you see all these random coins now coming back up. Hey, buy this coin. Get this coin. Will the virtual class be recorded? Yes. How do you enter the trade after the support is formed? You click a button to enter.
Hey Raja, I gotta say something, because you touched something on a course on Telegram, and lately, I mean, there's people asking to leak the course, and people that giving access to your course and to any other mentors. And I got a message for you guys, and I'm the positive guy usually, and I don't get mad easily, but that get me like so mad, man. So mad, because man, if you're trying to leak those courses, I mean, seriously, I just wish you, man, I wish the market takes all your money, man. I'm just like, I wish you really bad. People are working hard for that content, and it's worth every penny. So if you try to leak that, man, to be honest, you just deserve to lose everything you got. That's it, man. That's the only thing I gotta say. I get so mad. I just got a message this morning about that, and just feel like punching someone.
No, it's not about the hosting. I mean, that's fine if they can leak it. The whole thing is, the whole idea behind the mentorship is something that you cannot replicate, and that's priceless. You know, I get messages all the time like, okay, that's fine, but the whole ecosystem we've built, you can't replicate that.
True.
But yeah, you're right. Hope they all hit stop losses.
Sorry, man. I had to say.
No, it's fine. Let's take a look here. Hey, ex-Gulag here. What do you think about the Feds printing so much money? 25% of money being printed in this year is the total economy. Yeah, man. I mean, the Feds were printing all that money to dump it into the market to make it go up. That's what was happening, you know, because I mean, if they were printing money, giving it to people, that means they wanted people to spend money to make the market go up. It's like when you're losing a trade, when you're in a drawdown, you go to the bank, you deposit more money in your account in hopes that price goes up and you make back your profit. That's what happened. And what was the result? Nothing. Now we have another lockdown. You know, so it's an even bigger drawdown for the government. All right, let's take a look at what's this. If this 15-minute candle closed bullish and GJ support will be created, and we can take buys for the retest and highs maybe further. Yeah, that could work. Okay, yeah, that could actually work out because we got a range over here. It's like a 12 pip range over here. It's good. But also we gotta make sure where this candle is going to close, because if this candle closes somewhere at like, you know, 139, 830, 840, then the range becomes smaller, and then that buying opportunity becomes a little risky there as well. You know, so that's the one thing that's gonna
Yeah, I mean, I think the course selling thing is funny. It always happens during the holidays. People want extra money. So there's really no value. I mean, people have leaked or put stuff on YouTube about stuff I used to do. Like Raja said, there's no value in just watching a webinar or watching, a recorded, video, because you don't have the support afterwards. A lot of the videos that I've done are pieces where there was a context behind it, there was an explanation, and then there was further discussion afterwards. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, when we do webinars here, people message us, in the groups and stuff, and they ask questions, and that's like the post-webinar session. We always answer those questions. Oh yeah, this is that. But then you're right. Just one, because here's the thing. Before I joined you, right, 4 years ago, I watched a lot of webinars, a ton of webinars. I learned some things, but then you always need someone to really guide you, in certain places. So that's one thing that's missing from when you just watch webinars.
Yeah, I think anybody I haven't heard of anyone that has become successful just watching webinars and not interacting with somebody. You always need somebody to give you that 360-degree feedback. And especially in today's day and age, I hate to always rag on the younger people, but man, your critical thinking skills and researching skills are absolutely horrible, because Google has made it so easy for you just to type in a question and get an answer. You're not using your brain to actually go through the process of, okay, it's like if you went to the library, right? So back in the day, we didn't have the internet, we had libraries. So libraries are big, they're sort of like warehouses, but there's books in them, and books have paper. And those paper are there's lots of words on those papers. So you have a lot of books in a big warehouse. That's what a library is. And in the library, there used to be these index cards. So that was like the paper version of the internet. You had to open up this box, and there was a list of cards where you would search, and it was in alphabetical order. So you actually had to go through, and if you wanted to learn Forex, as an example, you would go into the box with the letter F on it, and you would have to go through the alphabet, right? So FA comes first, then FB, then FC, and you would go all the way to FO, and then you would find, FORX, FOREX, and then it would give you a map, and the map would be, in the warehouse, which is the library, it would say row 13, section 205, and the book would be numbered 330. So you would have to actually go over there, and you'd actually have to go find that book. And sometimes the index cards were wrong, sometimes the book was misplaced, so you actually had to do some work and use your brain. And I think now with the invention of Google, people just type in something and they don't go through the process of actually working through. So, when you look at people looking up courses, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to watch a video and you're going to say, okay, now I know how to trade. And then there's going to be questions that you're not going to have answered because the video doesn't have those answers. So it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and there's many people out there. I mean, I paid for courses like over $2,000, and still to this day, I mean, the guy still never answered my questions.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Because that's not a family, man. Here you have your family.
Yeah.
100%. I'm very new to this family, but it seems very close to what I was looking for when I first heard about it. And yeah, I've definitely been scammed before. Like, you purchase a course and nothing really comes to fruition with it, or it's just it's a joke, right? But we have infrastructure. It really helps.
I've spent over 20k on courses, people. I've been doing this a long time.
Damn, Yasser, you're a rich guy, man.
Don't say that. Don't say that. But you know what? I don't regret any penny of it.
Yeah.
Because I paid the money. I learned, and I even paid private tuition. And to learn properly. So that's one thing I'm blessed with. I did learn properly.
Investing in yourself, man.
Yeah, that's it.
So this is first try of the buys, didn't work, closed candle. Yeah, I think at that point you did give your trade a second chance. I also think that the stop loss was way too big when it came down over here. Your stop should have been below the 30-minute candle. I don't know which one was that, but I guess you should have closed 50% as this. Well, once this closed back in the range, you should have closed everything at that point. There's a new app? No, there's no new app. No one talked about any app. How do you know the difference between a price rejecting an area and price creating, what's this? Hold on. And price creating breathing room for it to continue in that direction. See, right over here, it's not doing anything, so you have to point to a particular example that you're talking about or send a chart based on that. But what we're talking about right now, there's prices coming up, candle's about to close in 4 minutes, and once this candle's closing, I don't think a buy would make sense because this minor resistance is only like 7 pips away, so you'll need price to break above this area to continue bullish. Yeah, so we'll have to wait how this candle closes here.
And if you've been watching gold, you can see where we had that massive rejection. And now it's starting to trail up a bit. So if you were looking to take your trade, if you were paying attention, that's what you would have seen. You should have been able to hit that with gold if you were looking to trade gold this morning.
Would have been pretty risky to take buys over here.
No, you go into smaller time frame. So you go into your 15-minute time frame, you had a massive rejection. So that's what you would have based your trade off of, the 15-minute time frame. So once this support level over here was formed, you could then put a buy here and then ride it back up here, and now you know that it'll probably continue on its way. So next candle.
So maybe then you're looking at the 5-minute here.
That's true, yeah.
Sometimes you don't wait on the candles to close. How do you know when to impulse? That comes with experience. Like some may say that's not a right answer, but that's the best answer. It comes with experience. With experience, you see, like once you're waiting for candles to close, you will notice that sometimes, price doesn't close with that confirmation. It just continues moving. So then you start to identify that, okay, if price continued moving where I wanted it to move, how could I have been in that position, or how could I have been in that trade? And that's when you start looking at, oh, maybe an impulse entry would have worked over here or over there. And then you start to kind of like, piece together this whole idea of, okay, if I would have taken an impulse entry at a certain point, maybe my stop loss should have been at this area, or TP should have been at that area, which is what makes price action amazing, because now you have a puzzle and you start to put the puzzle together. And once it forms imperfectly, man, it's just amazing to see. Then you're like, okay, you know what, these patterns are going to happen over and over again. So if you look here, this candle is about to close in a minute. We still have a smaller range over here. We're creating a support. I don't think this is going to be a pretty good buy opportunity for it to go up. Probably not, because not enough range over here. Looks like GU is also rejecting at this point, coming back up in this range, smaller range. At what point do you move your stop loss? When candle close, you got in, or when you reach certain amount of pips? It depends. It depends. If I'm in a trade and the 30-minute candle has closed bullish, then probably I'm going to move my stop loss below the 30-minute candle that closed bullish. Because if I want the next one to go up, I don't want that to break the low of the previous candle. Also when you're securing positions, it's up to you whether you're moving stops to break even or you're leaving them where they are. So it's more of a trade management thing over there. Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is GJ 4-hour time frame. Looking at the 4-hour zone is being broken. I've back tested that entering on the lower time frame can give you 1 to 2 moves most times when waiting for a lower time frame retest. Yes, That's really good analogy because, you know, once the higher time frame is coming down to make a lower wick, that's basically a support being created on the lower time frames.
Yeah, people are asking where you would put a stop loss for gold on the 15-minute charts or even GJ. So this is going to be your support, right? So your stop loss is going to be right over here. And you would be taking entries right over here because you're looking for that candle to flip bullish at that point. Right? So a lot of people, you have to wait for this to happen, and you would be watching the smaller time frames here because you know that overall momentum is up. You know gold retraces heavy, and if you look at the previous hour, the previous hour on gold just pulled back a bit, but the overall trend on the hourly has been pushing up, and once again, the daily candle is bullish. So you would turn around and you would say to yourself, okay, I'm not looking to take sells at this point here. I'm watching this area here to see if at this point over here we create a support. Is there an opportunity for me to take a buy? And I think you have to get used to the idea that gold moves very fast, and you could potentially be taking a position that moves up because once again, the second half of gold or the second half of the hour usually continues bullish, and this is what's happening here at this point. So now this candle here, you'll see a tail form, and then you would say to yourself, okay, where are we going? Probably to here, and that's where now you get back into this area here, which is a mess. But you can see here, these are your clean traffic areas, right? So you could take advantage of that, knowing that once this support holds, you're on your way up, and now you've basically closed the trade at the top with the latest 30-minute candle or 15-minute candle at that point.
Yeah, I was also looking at that. I missed the sales earlier, and I'm trying to get some retracement up here.
I still think it was pretty risky because there was no support formed until this candle closed bullish, this 15-minute candle. I mean, if you're, yeah, for gold buys. I mean, even on the 5-minute, I mean, once you had this candle form, this was bearish, and once this 5-minute candle started breaking down, there was just a blind. I don't see any confirmation.
Impulse entry, my friend.
That's what I was looking for. Impulse entry.
Yes.
Very nice.
Because this is your range, right? This is your range. And you know that the overall trend with gold is up. And we know that there's always going to be a pullback before the North American session. Right? So if you know that, you can say to yourself, okay, this is just the retracement to start the drive further back up. And anything above this area here, because we have this area here, we're probably we're on our way back up. And you also have to think of too, this move here is, you know, essentially like 30 or 40 pips, right? So that's a huge move for gold in a span of 5 minutes. So keep that in mind, right? You're not saying, okay, I want to drive all the way to the top. It's, hey, I can get 30 pips within a 5-minute candle because we had this and we had the impulse entry up, knowing that the overall trend is still bullish at that point. And then now here, if this holds, you know that we're going to continue further up. So you've got yourself a really good entry.
Yeah.
It's just the way gold moves. Gold will dip really hard and then pull all the way back. It happens. You'll see it a lot of the times on the charts. It'll really pull hard. So you have an opportunity to grab that quick trade, and you're not holding these trades because you're already getting 30, 40 pips on them. So you can get out right at the end of the half-hour close.
Yeah, the impulse entries are on another level.
Yeah, on gold, yeah.
I agree.
Alright, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is a paper trade on gold, 15-minute. When candle broke the lows, enter sells. Yeah, it's good. I would still paper trade with this. Yeah, I would say it's good. made it work. Now you got to see how often this opportunity is going to happen, you know, and how often is it going to play out the way it did. And that's where your efforts are going to. What's this? Oh,
I was just showing the way the trend was moving.
oh. I was like, who drew that?
Yeah, because this is the thing that people have to recognize with their eyes. Right? You have to get used to recognizing that there's going to be steps every time. Right? And people don't see that visually. So when you start to see, you could basically do this, right? You could box, 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 then it comes back into this area to test, and then it'll go back in here and then keep boxing up, right? So it's just something to keep in mind if you are trading. Try to visualize this without having to, if you have to at the beginning, draw these boxes, but at this point try and visualize that idea that this over here is a huge zone at that point.
All right, we're starting to break above 139.940 here very soon. Will this be the start of the continuation towards 140.100? Could this be the start above 139.940 for price to continue to 140.100? How can I control myself? I'm fucked up emotionally. Should I kiss and say goodbye to trading? I'm so disappointed. I think you have to recognize why you're getting emotionally fucked up. You know, are you taking a loss and then you're taking another trade after that to avenge that loss? Are you taking a loss and then you're taking 2 more trades and taking 2 more losses? Are you taking a win and then taking 2 more trades and you're losing those profits? What are you doing? You know, because if you win a trade, so that's an emotional win. And you take a loss, now you lost those profits. And if you take another trade, you lose that trade, now you're back in drawdown. Now you've lost money out of pocket. You know, so of course you're going to get emotionally fucked up. You know, so what my rule is, whenever I win one trade, I just call it a day. You know, me winning one trade is me putting myself in the top 10% of people who are closing the day in profits. You know, which is why 10% always win, because they call it a day. That's what I believe. You know, but if you're taking a win, you're taking another trade, and you're going to drawdown, now you're putting yourself in the 90% people who are always emotional, who always can't take good decision, who are always over trading and over risking. It doesn't work like that. You know, so the best way to not get emotionally fucked up, as you said, is to maybe just focus on 1 or 2 trades a day. I mean, we've been here for about 3 years now, and we've just focused on 1, 2 trades a day, and that's it. And in the start, it seems really slow, and like you may seem like you're not getting anywhere, but man, trust me, after a while, it starts to make sense a lot.
I think gold's going to retest that low.
So that's a zone that's being created now on the 30-minute. So you'll find that we have, for a valid confirmation of a sell, we would then have to see that this zone. So if Raja goes into the 30-minute, this is what you're tapping into now. So this now becomes our zone for the USA session or the North American session. So what we're looking for at this point is, if you had taken a trade down here, it's gonna retest in this area here. We're gonna bounce around. Now what you're looking for this to continue up, we need trades above this area here, so out of this zone. So you'll find that this will bounce around. If it does break down, then what you're looking for is obviously trades to the downside, but you may find it might just pop out over here and then continue back up. So this is a very big zone, and it's a great opportunity as a trader, because what you can do and what you can say to yourself is, any sort of bullish movement inside this zone, we could start to look to take buys. So we're not going to take buys on candles that are bearish. We're going to look for buys with candles that are bullish. So as an example, this candle here can dip right back here because it's the new 30-minute candle that's starting. But what we would do is go into our smaller time frame, and as soon as we see a 5-minute candle or 15-minute candle going bullish, we can start to take a trade back up on the anticipation that this is where your stop loss is going to be, or maybe just a little bit below here, but this entire zone is not going to break if we are going to go bullish. So an aggressive entry is in the zone, a safe entry is outside the zone. So I usually like to take a trade outside this area here, because if we are going up, once again, this area here won't matter. This is if you want to get really aggressive. I rather trade out of the zone or have a candle that looks like this pushing out of that zone so that we know that we've left that area. So it's something to watch with gold at that point.
Let's take a look at these thoughts over here. Sell when the 30-minute candle closed below support, clear range to go down. This is a very good idea. We break the support, you got a clean candle to the way down. Would the break of the 1 hour high here on GJ add extra confirmation for price to go up towards that point? That is, yep, that's what I'm looking at. Because if we can break above 139,940, then I think we have clean room to go at least till 140 and then continue on towards, 140,050. Life's rules are simple. We all have learned in preschool, slow and steady wins the race, but this concept is difficult to explain to the millennials. I think it's also a difficult concept to comprehend when we have information coming at us at such high speeds. It seems like we're more prone to be more reactive than to, I was looking for another word, I can't find it. But yeah, we don't have to be reactive to this information flow. We just have to, when information comes to us, we just got to calm down, process it, see what's going on. If we miss it, we miss it. Because if you miss a trade, I was talking about this to somebody yesterday, that when you miss a trade, that's an opportunity for you to learn how you could have been in that trade. But if you're just missing a trade just to get emotional about it, then there's no opportunity of learning in that. Because when you miss a trade, you're trying to chase that trade, you try to get in that move. But if you know you've missed a big candle, that was your trade. You have to put your efforts in to see where could you have entered the trade. So now, what I'm looking at over here is, again, break above 139,940 for price to continue bullish. If we don't break above that high, then it's not going up. What's your opinion on US 30? I think you need to send a chart, and we're going to look at this. This candle is also about to close here in 2 minutes. What common theme you've seen on why most traders fail, reflecting back on 2020? What has taught you, if anything? The number one thing I've learned is to just focus on 1 or 2 trades a day. Man, I say this 10 times every day. Just focus on 1 or 2 trades a day and you'll see a difference in 2-3 months, In the start, it may seem like it's worthless, waste of time, not getting anywhere because you're not getting quote-unquote chart time. No, there's a difference between overwhelming chart time and really specific chart time. Specific chart time means from 6:30 to 9 a.m. For example, I'm getting my chart time in because this is the time I trade. I'm not going to start looking at the charts at 12 p.m. to see that, oh, I'm just practicing setups, I'm practicing moves. It doesn't work like that, because if you look at the currency pairs, you're going to notice the currency pairs move differently at New York Open, they move differently at London Close, differently in the afternoon, differently in the Asian session, differently at London Open. All these times, pairs move completely differently. If someone tells me, hey Raja, why don't you trade the London session? I'm going to say, hey, because I haven't seen London session move for about 2 years now. So I'm not sure how price moves in that sense. So, I can trade it for some time, but I'm not going to be an expert at that. What I'm an expert at is this time right now. That's what I believe. Someone can say, well, it's whatever, whatever you believe, but that's where I can see my chart time goes in this time. So you have to figure that out. What time is going to suit you best based on how you do things in your life? Maybe for some people, this is not the right time to trade. Maybe for this time, they may have London Close to trade. So if the previous 30-minute liquidity grab and order, what? So is the previous 30-minute a liquidity grab, an auto grab to move up? It could be, because this candle's still open right now, so we're not sure how this candle's going to close. But this seemed like a rejection, really strong rejection here. But we have this area now which it needs to break. Looks like gold is trying to do that same rejection it did before.
Looks like it is. He's excellent. But this is an opportunity where, if you know, because I'm not trading anymore, I'm just sitting watching, but I'm sort of giving insight. This is how I would review the markets with gold because of the tendencies gold has, right? You have to use a logical deduction and say to yourself, okay, does it make sense, right, for all these candles here to be rejecting this support? Does it make sense all of a sudden for this just to drop, right? Is there a possibility? Obviously, there's always a higher possibility. Sorry, there's always a probability that it'll drop. But the fact that we have this, and now it looks like this, I like to think that this is how we're going to move at this point. I don't think that now all of a sudden we're going to just break down to here. There's obviously, like I said, there's always a probability, but because of the way gold moves and because of the fact that we're sort of holding this support here, I really think that this is just foolery to start our ascent up. And you might find probably in the last 15 minutes or so, we'll probably have a little bit more foolery with these candles, and then we'll potentially break further up. And then the North American session starts, and then we get a pop, and then it'll range again. The biggest issue is because we hit that daily range during the London session, it may be hard to go back up to that 1866, 1867 point again. But if you were trading gold, I think your safe trades for gold are anything above this area here. And if you're taking sells, it's going to be below that area there. So you want to take a buy here, and you want to take a sell below this area here. You don't want to play in this area here, to be honest, unless you feel comfortable just taking, a buy here or a sell here, and then saying, okay, my sell is going to be here. This is where my stop loss is going to be, and my buy stop loss is going to be over here, which doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather be out of that box altogether.
All right, we're coming up. We're coming up towards 139.940. Break above this area and we continue moving bullish. You'll have a pretty decent stop, like 7 pip stop, 8 pip stop, pretty good. Yeah, we've broken above now. Should be a clean drive at least till 140.050. That's like 12 pips away, 11, 12 pips away. Taking 1-2 trades from November, so much profitable first. I used to revenge trade a lot. Yeah, revenge trading will really put you in that tornado of depression. The tornado of depression. Are we waiting for a break and close in GJ for an entry? First of all, there's no we. You're managing how you're gonna take this trade. I mean, the idea I had was that if we can break above the high at 139.940 and having, probably a stop below this current candle, we can continue up towards 140.050. If this aligns with your plan, if you've taken these trades before, then you're executing on the trade. If you've never taken this trade before and you're blindly just taking a buy based on some random person who's staying on the internet and you're losing the trade, then obviously you're going to go into a tornado of depression because you took the trade not knowing what's going to happen. So it's
you're going to the inferno.
Yeah. And even if you miss the trade, even if you take the trade and you win and you're not sure why you took the trade, it's still the same thing, because you don't know why it happened, except for the fact some person talked about it on the internet. That's not winning. Winning is when you know 100% why you're taking the trade.
Just take the trade and forget the rest.
Forget what they're saying. Just take it.
Just take it, man.
I use to double check my own analysis. If you come here to take this trade, you're wrong. Oh, okay. Yeah, double checking analysis. Yeah, I mean, if we're breaking above these highs, it should continue up. But the good thing about this candle is, even if this, so if your stop loss is below this candle, the beautiful thing is, if this candle closes back below this range, you can close out your entire position and lose less than what you're risking right now with the stop loss down over here. That's the beauty about risk management there as well. Why are you suggesting to take the buy trade? Man, we did
Come
the
on,
whole
man.
breakdown. I did the breakdown like 6 times.
So we're approaching to the 140s, right?
Yeah, 140.050, you should get there. All right. Let's see here. Raja, from trading high time frame. I'm unprofitable since a year, and now I'm profitable trading on the lower time frame and profitable now. Should I continue the same way? Or yeah, I should just continue the same way. If you're finding some sort of profitability in a certain type of trading, just try to exploit that. You know, try to see how many times it works, because your trading style is going to stay the same. The only thing that's going to change are your lot sizes. You know, when your lot sizes go up, your income goes up. You know, when your income from trading goes up, you start paying your bills from that income. And when you start paying your bills from that income, then you start to look to see, okay, how can I quit my job now? And that's a beautiful moment. You know, when you can decide, hey, my bills are being paid from trading, I can possibly, like, you know, maybe cut hours on my job. And then slowly you can say, okay, you know what? This is the time for me to just say, hey, you know what? I'm done. Job's over. But that takes time. So even if price breaks the high, it might not have enough volume to push up unless some Brexit news. No, because if it's breaking the high, then it's creating that probability to continue up. And at the same time, your confidence lies in you knowing exactly how much you're risking because your stop is below this current candle. And also, if you look at the time, we're moving into New York Open, you know, so now once it stays above, you know, 139, 920, 910, you're really anticipating the New York Open to push price up. And then we can look back and say, oh yeah, you know, the momentum from London session continued moving, and, you know, yeah, I mean, that's what we're expecting here. Let's take a look at this chart. This is GJ 5 minute. Price made a high over here. Took an impulse entry when we broke above the high, probably to continue the high, but it continued on over here. Nice. Beautiful. Where do you think is good to close 50%? You know, I would say it's totally up to you, but I mean, it depends, you know. I mean, if price closes back down over here below your entry point, but above this resistance, I think that's going to be a good point to close 50%. I mean, if I was in this trade, I would close 50% at that point. But if we close below this resistance, then I think it's going to be a good idea to close everything if it closes below the resistance. So if you're taking one trade a day and you're executing on this trade and it doesn't work out, you're done for the day. Now you come back next day. Let's take a look here on the 5 minute time frames. Oh yeah, look at this 5 minute candle coming back down. This is where you try to get a little cautious. You try to see if you can close 50%. Just take some risk off. You know, because you went in profits, now it's coming back down. So now, do you want to lose the whole thing, or do you want to close, like, lose partials? There are cases where you close profit 5 to 6 pips. Maybe it's a risky trade, but you take it anyway. You're happy with that amount. Yes. At the end of the day, it all comes to how confident you are. You know, sometimes I close trades in like 5 pip profits because I lose confidence, you know, or if I see something that makes me uncomfortable, I close the trade, you know, and then price still keeps on moving where I wanted it to go, and I'm like, okay, you know, that's fine, because at least I was uncomfortable. Whenever man, listen, you should be like a gazelle when you're in the trade, you know how gazelles act in Africa? Gazelles act whenever there's a vulture that moves, gazelles just run. You know, so when you're in a trade, you're like a gazelle. And whenever you see some sort of a drawdown coming in, or whenever you see some sort of a problematic situation happening, you got to book it. You got to close
That's the lion.
No. You got to close trades. You got to take some profits off of the table. You got to secure some losses because, hey, you have to be really uncomfortable with drawdowns. I'm extremely uncomfortable with drawdowns. You know, that's why I share my whole history, my whole trading. I show it. You know, I'm not going to show part of it like some guys over here. No, I show everything. You know, because it's really important to be actually show that, hey, you have to be uncomfortable with losses, with drawdowns. Ooh, after 3 months, someone said mute Mac.
It's been 3 months?
Yeah.
Oh,
it hasn't been said in 3 months.
That's a stretch.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. Okay, entered the trade based on a 5-minute, wait for the retest, 10 pips closed. What do you think about this trade? Is it too risky? Yes. I enter these types because they usually work for me and stop loss is small. Oh, that's good. You know, if they're usually working out for you and your stop loss is small, then that's perfect. But you got to see what's the probabilities that thing's going to keep working for you. What percentage do you let the runner after hitting 10 pips? Probably about 80%. 85%, 90%. You know, that's all up to you. When you're reaching 12 pips, 15 pips, or whenever you're reaching a point where you want to secure positions, that's a very personal decision, right? You have to decide how much are you willing to secure and how much are you willing to keep on running. You know, it's like saying you're playing poker. You know, you're playing poker and now you're saying, okay, you know what? How much do I want to cash out? You know, you want to cash out the whole thing, you want to cash out 80%, 90%, 50%. That's all up to you. Look at GU here. GU is also coming up to this resistance now. Spread zone, traders domain, demo count, same as the MT5 standard account.
Yes.
Oh.
So demo accounts on Traders Domain are standard. They're not ECN. If you want to look at ECN spreads, you have to open up a live ECN account, and you'll see the difference in spreads. That's just the settings that we set. We didn't make ECN demo accounts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, ECN is a lot tighter.
Yeah.
Right now I'm getting 1.2, 1.3.
I'm getting 1.2.
I don't think y'all get that enough. Okay, your strategy works, but how many times will it work? Do you backtest it? Do you tweak and add confirmations? Oh, absolutely, every day. Every day. You know, so this was a strategy where price breaks the high over here to continue up, but also very risky because you're entering based on anticipation of this candle staying bullish. But once this candle is now coming down, so that's where you start incorporating, okay, if a candle is now coming back below my entry, back below resistance, what am I incorporating here? Am I incorporating risk management? Am I incorporating entering more positions? You know, what are you trying to do? Because if you're entering positions, you're adding risk. If you're incorporating risk management, that means you're taking risk away from this because now it seems like it may close below resistance or not, but at the same time, you're still in the trade. Whoever entered and got busted, that's what happens when you don't wait for candles to close. No, impulse entries, they work all the time, and you didn't get busted. Your stop loss is still intact. You're just managing risk at that point.
At the moment, prices are breaking right now 139, 940. Then it's going to be a nice squeeze toward that upside. Because looking at market structure makes sense for GBPJPY to continue and retest the previous highs on 4 hours based on 4 hours. So it's around 140, 140, 100, 140, and 50. We just need the impulse from New York opening, which we're getting now.
Yeah, it's good. Now it's closing above this area. It's pretty good. See, now the good thing is this candle has closed above this resistance. It's also created a higher low and a higher high. Now we want the next candle to respect this low and to continue moving up. And the beautiful thing about this candle is that it closed with no bottom wick, which means there was no bearish volume in this candle. You know, so theoretically it should continue up, because also we're moving into NY open at this point. But at the same time, we have to be very careful too, because now look, this is the 5 minute, right? If this candle starts breaking the lows on the 5 minute, this is where you're closing 50% of your positions, you're taking risk off. If you've already taken risk off, maybe you're taking more risk off at this point. Because if you break this low, then there's a high probability it's going to continue down, you know, and then there's no point in holding a buy with full position. Gold is back at that support over there in this ranging
the magic
area.
support.
Yeah.
This is the area where you blow your account. This area here, because you'll take sells over here, and then you'll try and take buys over here, and it'll just keep doing this.
But I thought on impulse entries, you're waiting for candle to close above and then impulse entry as it crosses the highs. Yes, so we put these time frames in mind. That's why we were talking about, you know, entries above 139, 940. So there's no hard and fast rule. Like these things are not written in stone. Right, there are a lot of variations to impulse entries. There are a lot of variations to supports being made, resistances being made. If you get stuck in just one solid idea, that solid idea may not happen for 2-3 months. You know, so you have to get used to the simple variations of things, how they happen. You know, and that takes time. To understand those variations, it takes time, because like this same exact situation, it may not happen for the next 2-3 weeks. So if you look at the small time frames now, if it starts breaking the lows over here, then that's the point that this trade is probably not going to work out. See right there? This is now probably not going to work out. So at this point, you're closing everything and just saying, okay, you know what? Probably going to give this a second chance if it happens. But yeah, at this point, it just gets really, really tricky if it's going to go back up again or not. So if there's no recent support or resistance formed on the 1 hour 30 minute, you rely on the 15 minute for time being. Yes, when there's a lot of volume in the market, then you're looking at the small time frames. Yeah, see that? That's why you're managing risk. That's why risk management is really, really, really important. You're closing half, you're removing 50% of your risk right there. You're closing another half, now you're removing 75% of your risk right there. You know, so once you break the low, close everything, done. You know, so if you were in this trade and you lost less than you anticipated to lose, that's still a beautiful thing. It's still a win at that point, because you managed risk. You know, the worst thing is when you keep on holding the buys, price goes in drawdown, you add more buys, and you're still stuck with that buying mentality. I mean, that's where things go really, really wrong. You know, so even if this was your first trade, You took the trade, impulse entry, knowing what you're doing, and you close the trade in like a minor loss. Now that's okay, because now you can give your trade a second chance if those buys happen again. Cult Hero Financial Education. Ooh, we got another London live stream happening here.
Another one.
Cult Hero Financial Education. Man, it's funny. It's funny how everyone's doing live streams now. I've seen so many live streams pop up, it's insane. We're just happy we pioneered these live streams.
True.
Gold is creating some baby mama drama over here. Yeah. I mean, if we continue down, we can continue down in this range over here. Instead of losing 100%, I lost 30% of my trade. Oh, nice. Are you going to do the scalping competition with Cam and Q Banks? I don't know who Cam is. And I don't know, man. I don't do any competitions. My whole trading history is on Instagram. I mean, if someone can show me their trading history, I can go on a competition after that. But man,
that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be my request. Is anybody that I have to put up whatever money against?
Yeah.
I need to see the amount of trading history that I've done.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see if that person is on the same caliber to do a competition with.
Yeah.
Because a lot of gurus out there, man, we don't know how they trade. We haven't seen their trading history, nothing.
It's the biggest marketing scam in the world. It's just to promote themselves. It's so funny. I don't know why people can't see this. Like, oh, we're going to do a competition and I'm going to host it, or I'm going to do a competition and winner takes all. And it's like, yeah, really? For what? So that you can prove to your followers that you did something? It's like, you should be able to do that every single day. You don't need a competition to tell people you're good at what you do.
Like a rapping cipher.
Yeah.
Rapping cipher.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, if someone can show me 6 months of history on a MetaTrader account where they've traded the last 6 months of the year and it's one single account, I'll definitely pony up. I'll pony up 100,000. It doesn't bother me. The money isn't the issue. It's the rationale behind why we're doing what we're doing. Raja hit the nail on the head. It's like, you do live trading every day. You show live accounts every day. You take trades every day, and you have the same account. I've had the same account for 3 years. I don't throw random numbers up there.
Man, some people have even stopped throwing up random numbers. Move to random charts.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, people have these 1 wins, 2 wins, and then they show an account with like they've taken like a $500,000 win on an account, and then they disappear for 6 months or 3 months, and then they show it again, and it's like, that's not trading.
It's like they're gonna say that you've been holding that trade for 6 months. You see the trade is like,
yeah, it's.
This is a wrong chart, Mr. Khalil. Wrong chart. Thought this came from the Gulag, but it came from one of our own. Hey, Raja, do you reply on Instagram? I sent you some chart hopping for your comment. I'm sorry, I don't look at charts on Instagram, because if I sat down to look at charts on Instagram, I'd be on Instagram all day long. So that's a pretty difficult task. Guys, check out, trading options. She calls out everybody. Yeah, she's a legit trader. Go check it out. Where did the Can you please introduce the people who are speaking in the live? Yes.
Can you prove it?
Can you prove it?
Can you prove it?
So
Oh,
we
yeah,
have.
what if this
Oh,
candle break close above this resistance support?
if this breaks and closes above,
Yeah.
Yes, my friend, it's coming.
seems like the way you said "yeah" was you're in a trade over here, in a pretty heavy trade. Yeah.
100%.
I can say.
I'm in the trade. The reason I did not close my position because that was a NY open and it went down so quickly in just few minutes. And I have learned from you. So when it goes so quickly down, it comes up again. So
You
I
see,
did not close my
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's the little things that many people misunderstand, and they see pricing rejecting from one level to another. But if you look to the 30-minute candle, you look it's just plain and simple retest to the previous 30-minute candle. So now your job is gonna be adjust your stop loss and take some risk off from the table, and just let it breathe a little bit, man. One 5-minute, 1 15-minute candle is not gonna change the trend. That retest of the previous 30-minute candle was massive, but it was, what's expected. The first 30-minute candle on the hourly candle. Now, if you're still holding this trade, you can basically close the entire position, and you're not gonna lose the amount of money that you were losing 10 or 5 minutes ago. Yeah. I'm still positive on this GBPJPY because, like I said, my target is the upper side on the 4-hour candles. So I'm expecting any pullbacks in the first 15 minutes of the hourly candle is expected.
Yeah, so this would be, if it's gonna go up after this 5-minute rejection here, this would be the point for it to go up. If it still bounces around here, I'm just calling it like a fugazi over here.
I agree.
Fugazi. Yeah, so if you're watching gold, gold's playing in that range again. Once again, we don't want to be in that area. If you took buys over here, your stop loss is now down over here. But essentially, I'd be taking buys probably above this area over here. But if you got buys in over here, congratulations. You got probably a really good entry because this 15-minute candle, if finished it bullish, the next 15-minute candle should probably do this, to be honest. So if you're looking for an entry and we are going to go up and we do get that push, you'll find that we may have a drive to the upside. And once again, based on the 30-minute candle, we were talking about 30-minute charts. It was, let's see if Raja can pull that up, the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So once again, we're still in that zone. So this is the reason why I won't take a trade, because we're in this zone. I want us to come out of that zone and then pierce and come up and then come back up to this level here or break below this area here. I don't like trading within this area here. But if you took an entry over here, now your stop loss has to be below here and you're going on the basis of it going up. So this is an aggressive entry. In this green area here is aggressive. Above here is a little bit safer because you'll probably have more confirmation.
Oh, GJ's breaking up already.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, this would be the second opportunities to continue to 140, 100.
Yeah.
Hey, Raja, please check my second entry. Low risk, by the way. Let's take a look here. Enter on the trade based on the previous time frame. Expect the move we didn't have. Clean traffic, 30-minute zone. Target over here. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. We can see here now in the 5-minute as well. It's starting to move up over here, so it looks pretty solid for it to now continue up. Can you please do a coffee break? All right, I'll go get coffee right now.
Oh man.
Oh, this is also moving up. Hold on.
Shit.
Now I want to bring out the horns. The winning horn or the failing horn?
Oh man, bring me the winning horn.
Yeah, it's coming up. 140, 100.
Yeah.
Roger, one horn for my confidence.
All
China,
right.
my friend.
The horn of confidence.
Yeah.
That's what it's called now, the horn of confidence.
Yeah.
And then there'll be the horn of defeat.
It was great that we called the gold bias to our target last night, right?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
75% here.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Yeah, this should be around 10 pips right now. Easy.
Yeah, that was 11 pips for me, and I closed my 75%, and now my runner is running at the break even.
Beautiful.
So one horn for me, Roger.
Yeah, I can't find them.
Google horn of confidence.
And as you can see, gold is back down. It's not safe.
Yeah, now gold is scary to look for buys.
I
To
know.
be honest. Right now, it's man.
It's not safe.
No, because basically this is just it was a retest to the previous 30-minute candle. Now it's trading just around that 1856. If we break from there, oof.
Yep.
It can go deeper, man. 1848 easily.
That's why you can't trade within that area, that box of pain. Yeah. This is the, I'll do this. This is the red box of pain.
Box of pain.
This area here is the red box of pain. Do you want buys or do you want sells? Gold will not give you either.
Ooh, straight down.
Yep.
Can get 1846 on this move.
It's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
How can I implement your strategy when I have 5-pip spreads? Work off the higher time frames. And there goes gold back up.
He loves to do that.
I want the 30-minute candle on gold in the next 10 minutes to flip back up to 1859 and just really mess with everybody.
Now the problem is the 1-hour candles is just breaking below the previous one. So now
It's your the 1-hour candle with gold is just tapped into a support level. I wouldn't be surprised if we keep bouncing around there, but for it to really break down.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. The thing that scares me is that you still really haven't broken 4-hour support. or the higher time frame support. And I just really think it's a deep test. If it does break, then we could probably drop to 1844. But right now, it's just bouncing around that range. It's such a scary area.
Yes. Yeah, definitely it's gonna do a deep retest.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, look at the 15-minute candle, man. That's fucking fancy.
Yeah.
Kalaka.
Wow.
The move that I wanted.
Oh, like a gold.
I got the move that I wanted, my brother. Holy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even looking
That's the deep retest I wanted to map out. Right.
1848.
Yeah, 1848. Yeah, be aware of 1850 because 1850 it's a nice level to hold. If we break 1850, trust is coming for 1846. Easy.
Man, there was no.
Mac, are you in trade, Mac?
No. I was looking at gold and it didn't even give me an entry in the 1 minute or
Very nice.
or 5 minutes. No, I did not get an entry, man. So not nice.
Very nice.
No, not nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
What do you mean? I didn't get an entry.
Well, but I did.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, the hourly candle was key on this trade. Beautiful.
Damn it.
Yeah, 30-minute candle was nice because the retest, and once you start looking at the lower time frames, you see that we may break that support that was created around 1854. Incredible. It's a 40 pip move in less than 5 minutes. That was it.
That was good. Whoever took it, congrats.
Yeah. It's time to look for some sort of rejection from 1850s. That was a hell of a retest over that support on 4-hour tip.
Yep. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was. I wouldn't say expected, but.
crazy. Let's go in for more.
Oh wow, this came down before news here, gold. GG also, that was short-lived. We got retail sales coming up here soon. We got retail sales coming up here soon. See, with all this lockdown and stuff, I'm not sure whether these retail sales are going to be good or bad because, I mean, some states are in lockdown, some are not. Malls are closed, some are open. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to be good or bad. Because during this time in normal market environment, retail sales should be really good, you know, because of holidays and people spend money, buy stuff, you know, gifts and stuff like that. So fundamentally, yeah, I mean, we're not sure what's going to happen. Let's see here. We're going to wait and see. Can I use Trader's domain in Miami? Yes. I really appreciate your insights. Did I execute properly on this trade? Let's take a look here. Do online sales count? Probably not, because it's retail sales. Well, I think they would. They would. What's this? Watch bullish close after waking past the previous bearish candle high right over here. Looked for a move of next candle, entered here to continue up. Perfect retest. Oh, nice. That was very well executed. That was very well executed. Man, it's amazing how some people are incorporating the smaller time frames now and really capitalizing on it. You know, sometimes you don't get confirmations on 15 minutes or 30 minutes, so it's pretty good you're incorporating the small time frames.
Yeah, I think it's key. Basically, that's the beauty of price action. Once you see a certain setup and price action, I mean, if candles start respecting the previous one and the timing is the perfect time, you can capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also because of its gradual progression too. You know, like I started from looking at the 4 hour. I remember when we first started, we only look at the 4 hour time frames, approaching support resistances, moved down to the 1 hour, moved down to the 15 minute, then discovered no one was using 30 minutes, so started looking at the 30 minute. You know, things started to make much more sense. Then, you know, started looking at the 5 minute time frames, and you know, it's slowly progressing more and more. But I think when people start off from the smaller time frames, that's when things get a little iffy, you know, because in smaller time frames, you're going to see moves happen all the time. And it's really easy to really get sucked into the price action of small time frames, and before you know it, you're in like 5 trades deep or 4 trades deep, and you're really regretting that at the end of the day. Let's take a look here. I wanted to know how long it took you to become profitable enough to become a full-time trader. Oh, Kervin.
32 years.
32 years. Wow.
You're old.
I was selling cows, exchanging cows.
When did you start trading?
Trading last year.
Last year you start trading.
Yeah, when I met you, because before I was working, I was doing some other stuff, but last year was just the year that I started real trading.
Yeah. Damn, that's pretty good. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm still struggling because I would like to be a perfect one. Like Ted, like you know. That's my goal.
Come on, man. You're still pretty good.
That's my goal. I don't want to be like Mac.
Yeah, nobody wants to be like me. That's like bottom feeder.
Yeah. No, but for real, man. I still need to get that fine tune to get to the point that I'm gonna be like 95% sure on these trades. Hopefully, when the Brexit news, you know,
Stop
when this
happening.
Brexit end, yeah, because so far Brexit is killing me.
Oh man, you're gonna be like a grandpa by then.
Yeah.
You're gonna have arthritis. You want to be able to open a trade. Nah, I started trading around the same time as you, so.
Oh wow, looks like no more buys on the pound over here.
No.
This is also the news right now. This is the retail news at this point. We broke below, we're coming down. I think if we break below 1851, we can continue moving down on gold. Let's take a look at what the news was.
But the 30 minute is with no bottom wick.
Oh, it's not loading at this point.
Ted, will you looking for buys on gold above 1860s?
Yeah, that's the box that we had drawn out. It was just more of the area on gold on the 30-minute. We said that we have to break through that box, and we did. So that's where you would have your sell at that point.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Looks like the news is bad. We had bad retail sales news. Makes sense with all the lockdowns. Yeah, super bad. They're expecting 0.1 came minus 0.9. Expecting 0.3 minus 1.1. Super bad news.
Yeah. but PS5 are out of stock, so there's a lot of people buying stuff, man. Come on.
Yeah, that should have moved price up a little bit.
Yeah.
The retails.
There should be a news called the PS5.
Yeah. Buy Sony stocks.
the PS5 events.
Does this move on GJ count as a fake out? Let's see here. Probably not. Because for a fake out to happen, you need price to come back in the range, right? And this whole area is a range from like 139, 640 all the way up towards 139, 950. This is your range at that point. Looking on the 15-minute and 30-minute, yeah, see this whole area right over here. If you want to extend these wick rejections here, let's remove this yellow line. Yeah, so this is your range here. So see, price came down and tapped this area. We tapped this area before as well. So this becomes like your support or demand zone. Demand zone, right? Yeah, bottom is the demand zone.
Yeah.
And then this becomes like your resistance up over there, like your supply zone, whatever. So if price comes back below this area, then this move up becomes a fake out. But this is like extremely difficult to, like, you know, maybe to take a trade at this point. Yeah, it's been pretty difficult here. Previously, looking for buys in gold didn't really pan out. Candles were just consolidating. Once we started breaking the low, price fell down in this range. Pound yen, the buys were short-lived. I mean, we did continue up towards 140.050, but wanted to come up towards, you know, 140.100. But, you know, if you still secured positions, and I think if you're break even, you did well today. If you're in like minor loss, you did well today. But
it did get 10 pips.
Yep.
And for me, my partial TP was at 11. So, as soon as it got to like 10 and a half, it went down and hit my stop.
Why has GJ has so many fake outs this week? 3 losing days in a row. Yes, because there are a lot of different things happening, right? You have when the EU agrees on Brexit, pound falls. When pound agrees on, you know, Brexit, pound goes up. Then you got the vaccines, and then you got the lockdowns. I mean, there are a lot of things that are affecting fundamentally the pairs, you know, which is why I'm staying away from this whole month of trading, because there's a lot of stuff happening. Presidency is still open. Well, you know, Biden is winning, but at the same time, it hasn't been really officially announced yet. We got interest rates, man. It's a whole mess this week, especially. You know, we also got pound interest rates tomorrow. I'm looking for country, no USA option for traders domain. Any help? Yeah, I think if you choose crypto as a deposit method, you can get that done too. I got banned from Eleanor's stream. Oh, man, if you got banned from there, you're definitely getting banned from here too, without question. Nah, just joking. You're gonna be safe here. You're in the gulag.
I got you. Diplomatic visa here.
Wow, the only thing I can see on gold here now, from a technical perspective, is we broke down, came down. If we create like a minor resistance, I guess we can continue down to probably fill at 1850, 1849.50 there. See what happens. Do you think trading the last hour of the 4-hour candle is a good or bad idea? I think it depends where price action is. If you look on the 4-hour on, let's say on GU, right? So if you look at the 4-hour here, now this 4-hour is bullish, but it's also rejecting from up over here. So we're not sure whether it's going to continue rejecting or it's going to continue to close bullish. That's what we don't know, right? So we go down to the smaller time frames, and what we can find here is that we created a resistance, and then we created a support down over here, and now we have this range. So we go down to the 30-minute time frame. Now we see that, okay, this is like a pretty bad range over here. See all this, like price came up, came down, came up, came down, came up. So very undecisive over here. You know, not a really good idea to take some trades in this position. Probably going to look for sells below this area here. Let's do the same fresh analysis on GJ here. See, so whenever you get confused in a chart, right? This is what I do all the time. Whenever I get confused in chart, whenever I don't know like where price is going to head or if it's getting confusing, what I do is I go to the 4-hour time frame and I remove all analysis, right? Now I've removed all analysis from the 4-hour time frame, and now we can start doing analysis again. So looking on the 1-hour, 1 hour is going to close in 23 minutes. So right now we're creating a resistance here. We're also creating a support down here at 139, you know, 600. So we go down to the 30-minute time frame. Well, I guess it's the same thing here that we had drawn before. Yeah. So we got this range at this point. Closed 30 pips. Held my trade since 9 a.m. BST on GJ. Oh, beautiful. British Standard Time. If good news appear, like new vaccine, for example, would that push price up or down? Would that mean other currencies would react in the opposite? See, now you got to look at it from a fundamental perspective, right? What does a good vaccine mean? A vaccination means that that when people start getting vaccinations, businesses, they can start opening back up again. Your malls open up again, your gyms open up, everything starts to open up again, right? So that's good for the economy. So whenever there's some sort of a rumor that the vaccine is out, or like, you know, vaccine is being implemented by certain areas, that means it's good for that currency, you know. So you'll see bullish movements, and you're going to see like a lot of bearish movements on gold whenever there's some sort of like, you know, vaccination announced. What do you think about the Fibonacci trading on 15-minute? I have no idea about that. Can we make a deposit with debit if I choose crypto? If you choose crypto, how are you going to make a deposit by debit?
Oh yeah, you can.
Oh, you can? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you can. You could do e-wire, you could do bank transfer, you could do debit, credit, and crypto. You could do Ethereum.
No, wait. So if you sign up with crypto, you can still deposit via debit.
Only if you're in the States.
Oh, we're gonna keep it at that. See, I'm not sure, so I didn't
some
know.
verification on that.
What do you think about Yuki Journal on Instagram? I have no idea what that is. Do you check Cult Hero Financial Education? They are live every day at 7 a.m. GMT for London session. You will love their work if you are a GBP fan. See, if you want to market something, just let me know ahead of time and I'm going to market it for you. But don't come in the stream and just drop in a line. Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Trying to be oblivious.
Yeah, it's like subliminally, you know?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Raja.
Hey.
There's a question from the Gulag Poison Live. Can we use Trader's domain in Iran?
That's Rohan? Is that Rohan?
No.
Oh.
Somebody else. Or maybe it's Rohan Loki. Who knows?
Rohan.
Yeah, if you make credit and debit, and the USD wallet has all your credit and debit information on there. So as long as you deposit into USD wallets, you get credit and debit.
Yeah.
How to stop being addictive to overtrading? Just take one trade, 1-2 trades a day, and call it a day. It's not hard. You just gotta force yourself to do that.
Find a girlfriend.
Get a hobby. Don't find a girlfriend. Stop giving bad tips.
Yeah, because when you get in a fight, you're really gonna start overtrading. I'll show you the man I am. Go to the markets and yeah, didn't work, man. You ever ended up sending Mitch Ray an email? I forget who Mitch Ray is. I'm sorry for my ignorance. I forget who Mitch Ray is. Man, who's that guy with the
background noise?
Yeah, I'm gonna mute everyone. Alright, it's gone. Oh, it's still there.
He came back.
Oh, the crypto stream I donated to. Yeah, yeah, that's still in the works. What's that background noise there? Damn, man, it's pretty annoying.
I don't want to be a snitch, but I think it's Roy.
Where is it?
Roy. I don't want to be a snitch, but it's Roy.
His mic is not even on. His mic is closed.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, there we go. It's gone now. Can you comment on my trade that I took during the London session, please? Oh, this guy sent 2 trades. We're going to look at just 1 trade. This is a radio talk show, not like call a friend. Let's see here. This was, oh, nice. This was a GU buy. Stops below the wick of the candle, which is roughly 4 pips over here. This is the 15-minute time frame. Secured 50%, hit 10 pips, stops at BE. Secure the rest of it over there. Nice. Very nice. Beautiful. I watched your interview with Etienne the other day. That's how I came across you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Those of you who are new to the stream, we're going to be stopped streaming for this year on the 20th. No, not on the 20th. On Friday. What's the date on Friday? 18th. And then we're going to come back on the 10th of January. Because, you know, volume is going to die down. And also on the 20th, we're going to have a live in-person virtual class for everybody. It's going to be open. It's going to be free for everyone. I think on Friday, I'm going to drop down more details of the link and stuff like that, because I'm going to have to kind of like make sure how we're going to do that. But it's going to be an in-person virtual classroom for everybody. We're going to go over really important basic steps, so I think everyone should join. If you want to know more information, that more information is on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, ooh, 98.3, all right. Right here, announcements. Oh man, came a long way. Not even a single bot follower. All organic. I hope so.
That's awesome, man.
You know, when my account was at 9,500, I remember it was like a day before my birthday, and someone bought me 500 followers to get to 10K. I noticed I woke up one day and there are these bots following me in the line. I'm like, what the hell happened overnight? Yeah, and then obviously they got removed, because Instagram cracks down on bots. Bitcoin broke 20,000. Wow. Oh, nice. Yesterday I got in an argument with somebody and that guy was saying, hey, you should learn futures and crypto. They're much better. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to stick to trading. He's like, no, you're being ignorant. You got to go learn that. Like, are you even a trader? I'm like, okay, I'm not. I'm just going to stick to what I know. No, but you should really look into futures. I'm like, bro, relax. Don't have to be like those Jehovah's Witnesses. Come to your door, they want to sign you up. Yeah, some people get really emotional about that. Like when you tell them, no, I'm okay, they get really emotional about it. They get hurt. They're like, no, what do you mean you're okay? You got to learn it.
Cult-like mindset, man.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Oh, you got to join. You have to join. It's in your blood or some crap like that. I don't know.
Yeah. When you first started out, how long did it take you to become consistent and have the confidence to follow your plan? It took a long while. I think about like 6, 7 months, 8 months until I realized that all I had to do was just focus on 1 or 2 trades and that's it. That's it. Because, sometimes the thing is like you have to wait for a price to print certain patterns, If you can identify certain patterns, the price is printing, and you can just wait for those patterns to happen, you're going to have profitable trades. Like something that's happening right now, I don't recognize this pattern because, we have a resistance over here. So I'm not sure whether this candle is going to wick up and wick down or is it going to close bullish. But what I do know is if it closes bullish, there's a high probability for the next candle to continue moving bullish. So those are things that kind of like, wait to see if they print or not. Because most times when I was starting out, what would happen was that when I was taking losses, I wouldn't wait for certain things. I would take trades, take a loss, take another trade, take a loss, take a third trade, take some wins, but then take another trade and take a loss. And then after taking those losses or wins, I would finally see something that I wanted to see. And this happens to a lot of people. I would finally see something I wanted to see, and I wouldn't be able to execute on it. And the only reason I wouldn't be able to execute on it was because of all the losses I've taken previously. So all those losses combined, they bring your confidence down, they bring your ego down, and you just can't execute on something you should be executing on. Which is why I always tell guys, hey, listen, focus on 1 or 2 trades and just wait for that perfect setup to happen. Sometimes it happens in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of you coming through the charts. Sometimes it happens after maybe 2.5 hours. And some days it doesn't happen at all. If it doesn't happen at all, that's a trade for you. That's a day for you to not to trade. But it's always going to happen. It's going to appear in front of you. And if it does, that's a beautiful moment because you can execute on it. If it doesn't work, then there's a probability it didn't work that time. But for the most of the time, inside it works. So that's where most of your waiting comes up into. And when you start to see that over and over again and you start to execute on it, like every other week, then slowly you start increasing your lot sizes, and then you start incorporating different things like better confirmations on smaller time frames, or sometimes you miss the trade, you start to look to see how you can take impulse entries. But the first step is to identify what pattern do you really want to see in the market. When people make their trading plans, I really encourage them to visually print the chart in their trading plan of what they like to see happen. If that doesn't happen, you don't execute. It's like when you go hunting. When you go hunting, you want the buck to be at a certain place at a certain time of the day, and you want to be in a certain position in a certain range to take the shot. If you're even off by a little bit, I don't know if you guys go hunting or not, but you get the idea. It's like ICE, like you know when ICE goes hunting for illegal immigrants.
Got collateral.
Yeah, Mac got scared. He's like, "Oh, ICE, what?"
I see what?
He's looking out the window. Shit.
There's ICE here.
Don't tell me I'm going back to Cuba.
They're so fucked up, bro. Have you ever seen you saw the documentary, right?
Yeah, I saw the documentary.
Crazy.
Like, see, ICE, they have to be at a certain place at a certain time to catch them. That's what they do. So usually first thing in the morning.
Yeah, 6 a.m., bro. Knocking on your door. Hey, you guys got collaterals in there? Like, no, man, I don't know you.
Yeah, no, man. All right. If price is going down, would that not mean it's good for a currency because a higher price would suggest inflation? Not really, because well, that's different than we're looking right over here. You know, this technical analysis, the price you see here, it's totally different than what you see in the in your general fiat. You know, this is when price goes down, you're looking for certain levels to break so you can execute on a sell. But if price goes down from here, this means it's bad. You know, when you have bad news, price falls over here. And when you talk about inflation, see, I don't have the right words to put it in. Like what I know in my head what that would mean, but I don't have the correct words to put it in. Inflation is different than how price moves up and down here. This is based on how we view the market, how optimistic things are for price to move up or down. Oh wow, Hill negotiators are on the brink of a 900 billion krona rescue package that would include a new round of direct payments, but will leave out state and local aid and a liability shield. Oh wow, man. To include checks of less than $1,200. Crazy. How can we backtest this strategy? There's a difference between backtesting and there's a difference between live testing. You know, backtesting is okay. So I'm going to go over why backtesting is not really as good as live testing, because backtesting is, let's say you're looking for a certain pattern to play out, so you're going to go back and you're going to look for that pattern at the same time. Let's say right over here you're like, okay, pattern found, it works. Then you're going to go back and you're going to see the same pattern. You're like, okay, pattern found, it works. Now this is a basic general example, right? So this way you can go and backtest like 6 months or 9 months of data in about an hour. You know, it's good that you're training your mind that way, but the way it's not helping you is that it's not helping you to wait for candles to form and candles to close. That's the only experience you're not getting. So I only focus on live testing, and live testing means you coming on, let's say it's a Wednesday, right? You're coming on a Wednesday and you're looking to see if that certain pattern appears, and if it appears, does it work or not? You're like, okay, it worked, perfect, I'll write it in my notes. And then you come back the next day. You come back the next day, look for the same thing. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, you're like, okay, whatever, I'll come back the next day. You go back to the third day. On the third day, if it happens, it works, you're like, okay, perfect. In the last 2 days, you see it happen twice and work twice. That's properly backtesting, because not only you're waiting for that thing to happen, but you're also incorporating the time it takes for the candles to form. And when the candles are forming, they're retracing, man, of course, like your emotions are at play, like you're really getting antsy about it. Oh, is this going to continue up, continue down? You know, so that's better live testing. So I think that's way better than backtesting. It takes time, but you're building good foundation when it comes towards, patience and actually waiting for candles to open and close. This candle has about 6 minutes left here for it to close. Let's take a look at this chart in the meanwhile. This is, what's this? GJ. Enter a buy when the break of the candle high of the previous. See, your arrow is pointing to this green candle, and this profit loss is on this candle. And if you say broke the high, this candle entry over here, it never broke any high of anything. So I don't know, because that's what I see, right? I mean, it's just not clear. What's your favorite setup or pattern? My favorite setup is when price creates a high, comes down, creates support, and then comes up to retest the high. That's what I like to see every time. You know, or when we have a resistance right over here, and we have a candle closing above resistance, and the next candle breaks the high to continue bullish. These are the two things that I look for. You know, something that I'm anticipating to happen over here. Now, if this 30-minute candle closes above, you know, let's say 139.950, then there's a higher probability for the next candle to go up. But if it closes below this area, then it's basically respecting this resistance, right? Gets pretty difficult. And these things happen on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, like someone was talking about, you know, like high time frame and low time frame. It's all about candle patterns. These things are going to happen on the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour. So no matter what time frame you're looking at, candles move the same way on all time frames. The only difference is that on bigger time frames, you're waiting a little bit longer. You know, on the daily, you're waiting a couple days, 4 hours, still you're waiting for a day or two. You know, 1 hour, you're waiting for a couple sessions. 30 minutes, you're waiting for a couple of hours. You know, so it takes time. When the virus hit the market, why did price move down, strengthening most currencies when it should have moved? What do you mean strengthening more currencies? When the virus hit, things dropped. Price moved down. I think you're confusing price moving down and inflation. You're confusing. They're two totally different concepts. When the virus hit, everything went on lockdown. You know, like economies started taking a hit. Nothing became stronger. It all went down. Everything went down. Like people lost their investments in RSPs and EFSAs. I mean, it was a bloodbath. I mean, inflation increases when there's money pumped into the market. You know, when there's a lot of money being flown away, that's flowing in. That's what inflation is. You know, because when the virus happened, government just started printing money, started giving money to people. You know, that's what made inflation go up. This when the circulation of money increases. Your JPY is back up in this range, coming up to this strong resistance here again once more. Are we going to break it to continue up? Or what are we going to do? GG is also closing above 139, 940, 950 here once again. Could this be when we see 140, 100 here again? What do you think about order blocks? I have no idea what they are. I tried learning them when I first started and they just went way too complicated. Why wouldn't you use the new resistance on the 15-minute? Because this is much stronger, the 30-minute. Because if this candle is closing above, then this wick over here, it becomes a destination. It becomes a target. You know, so that's why we're just looking at this thing over here. Hope you guys are looking at your crypto wallets. No, I'm not. Bitcoin rallying past all-time highs and going and going. Oh, nice. Beautiful. I'm staying far away from Bitcoin after I lost money. All right, we're getting to close in about a minute and a half. What I really want to see is, are we going to tap into 14300 today or not? That's the ultimate target right there. That's like 30 pips away. That would be the ultimate test for pound yen if we tap 14300 or not today. How you lost money? Oh, I just put my money in a exchange, a crypto exchange, and it went bust. Yeah, so lost money there. And by the way, that crypto exchange was regulated. It was regulated in North America, and it still went bust. So when you talk about regulated brokers and unregulated brokers, Regulated brokers go bust more often than the unregulated brokers. And the reason why regulated brokers go bust easily is because they're regulated. If they like take a left step too fast, the regulators start pounding on them. And it's done. All right, we're about to close in about 15 seconds here. Are we going to break this high and continue moving bullish or not? I'm not talking from a trade execution perspective. I'm just talking in terms of, can that happen from a price action perspective? Your money is in a segregated account, so it's safe. On brokerages, yes, it's always in a segregated account. All right, this is also the 4-hour candle close, closing bullish. 1-hour candle also closing bullish. Weak bullish candle though. 30-minute candle also closing bullish. Guess if we can break above 140, this area, we can potentially continue up towards, 140, 150, 140, 200. Then we can start talking about those places over there. If you want to hold Bitcoin, would you do that with a crypto wallet or MetaTrader? I think crypto wallet is going to be much better than MetaTrader.
I think you should always hold your money in crypto wallets and off exchanges for security.
Oh, right. Off of the exchanges?
Yes, because many exchanges can shut down and take all your money, like Einstein Exchange in the past. So always take your money out of the exchange and into a wallet, paper wallet, cold storage.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with the Quadriga exchange.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I had like 150,000 there and then just gone.
They're all sketchy. It's like the Wild West. Out of all of them, Binance has been around for like 5 years now. So it's still the Wild West though. Like I don't trust any of them.
Yeah. I withdrew, because I remember I withdrew 5,000. It took a week to get here. And then I withdrew a 10,000. And after 3 weeks, nothing happened. And when I logged into the website, it said that the website is down. And then 3 days later, there was a notice on the website that the owner has died. I'm like, whoa, what about the money? And then next day, they had some form you had to fill and write your name in. After we filled out that form, a week later, we get an Excel sheet. And that Excel sheet had the names of everyone who had money in the exchange.
That is so shady.
And then
The
later,
best exit plan.
oh man, amazing. And this case is still ongoing. This is like 3 years later. Case is still open. And
One Excel sheet? That's the only thing? An
Yeah.
Excel sheet?
Yeah, they had almost $200 million there.
That is so wild, man. But it goes to explain life. If you don't understand an investment, you shouldn't put money into it.
Yeah. What I didn't understand was the right place to put it in. That was my own problem. And the worst thing was that a week later, they announced that the owner died in India, and the password to his physical ledger he had, only he knew the password, and he's dead. So we're shit out of luck.
I wonder if it's true. The myth.
Bro, when I read that, I was like, there's no way. I mean, it's a highway robbery, man.
We need the Tom Hardy boys to crack this case for us.
Yeah, I mean, it was all done, and then I knew, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna trust that ever again.
In Pakistan and India, you can claim your fake death and just grab all the money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In Pakistan, India, you can claim you're 10 years old too.
Wild West.
Yeah, it's the real Wild West. Thank you for answering my question. I guess I've been overcomplicating Forex to simply, if bad news come out, then price will drop and gold will do the opposite in most cases. Yeah, that's mostly on US dollar. When the US dollar drops, so all the money goes towards gold, which is a safe haven. So whenever there's some sort of a risk, so if you notice whenever there were elections, if you notice gold was rallying because elections is considered to be a high risk event. So whenever there's some sort of a risk to a US dollar, gold goes up. Whenever there's some sort of an optimism for the US dollar, like the vaccines and stuff, you're going to notice that gold is going to go down. Ironically, if you look at 9th November, we had the first vaccine news, and man, gold dropped 500 pips at that day. And US dollar just skyrocketed. So, once people start getting vaccinated in 2021, I think 2021 is going to be a great year to make money in the start. Because when populations they start getting vaccinated, oh boy, we can see gold just drop. I think Ted talked about this 3 days ago too. Gold's going to start dropping, pound is going to start rallying. I mean, dollar is going to start rallying. Man, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be the opposite of the lockdown.
2021.
Whoa, what's Albert doing there? Man, I gotta remove. Bro, you pointed the like, what's going on? I'm like, man, there are like 2,000 people watching this guy. I mean, what's he trying to do?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Daniel did that once. Do you remember?
Yeah, like you want to hide the webcam, just don't point it down, because then we're like, oh, are you going to remove it or what's going on? All right. Hey, long time listener, first time sender. Can you judge my trade on EJ? I exit break even. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this chart. This is, I don't even know what to do here. I mean, there's no labeling, there's nothing. So we're just gonna try to guess. I guess you entered a sell over here. I guess price came down here, and I guess you got stopped at a break even over here. I think you should have closed when you saw the candle closing with no wick at the bottom. Or should have just secured some sort of a position, but that's all I can say at this point, because you didn't do any work labeling the chart, so I'm not going to do any work explaining it further. See this? So amazing, so nice. You can see everything. Yeah, so labeling helps. When price closes above like this, do you expect price to push quite fast? See, it's been ranging here. I mean, we've had haphazard moves. I mean, this price started to break up, but came down, closed bearish. We had a huge rejection down over here, but I do believe my bias is still bullish, right? Because this rejection is like, as Ted would say, grabbing orders. Something's grabbing orders at this point. So if we're doing a rejection down here, I mean, our target should be 140-200 without a doubt. I mean, we have clean candles here to the left hand side. Look at this, right? Clean moves came down, so we could just mirror that same price action moving up. But the question is, what time is that going to be? Is that going to be at 9:30, the New York Stock Exchange open? Because that's the next time there's going to be volume in the market. Or is that going to be around 10 a.m., or closer to London close? But with that, you also have some sort of conditions as well, and I think the first condition is that you want price to stay above 139,900, 139,950, because this is where we had a resistance formed. So as long as we stay above this area, I think we should be good to go till 140-200.
You know that EJ is pumping. EJ's doing a nice move. He's about to break that resistance.
Gold is also moving up right now. Just be careful with the NYC.
Gold so far is respecting 1850. Really
Yeah.
nice. So I'll be looking for buys later on gold. Oh, well, not really. I'm down so.
when you sounded tired today. You need a Red Bull or something.
Man,
Some tequila.
I went out last night. That was a blast.
Looks like NYSE is going to be the breaking point here for pound yen. I really wanted to move up to 140-200.
Yeah, I took an entry based on that last support and that retest, that wick retest of the previous zone. So took entry when it broke previous high, and took more entries when we retraced down. That's using dynamic risk.
Yeah, like slowly we're moving into the volume time. The first volume we had at pre-New York, New York Open, kind of like consolidated, slowly moving into NYSE Open over here. So that's going to bring in volume too. I'm going to be watching it while I have breakfast later on, but I do believe we should come up towards 140-200 if this area is respected. If this area is not respected, then getting up to there is going to get a little bit difficult. Why did it reject the first time at 800-ish? 800-ish? I was in buys and don't understand what it rejected. Well, it just rejected. I mean, what else can we say here? It just rejected. Price moved up. It had already moved up a lot, so I guess it moved up towards 140.050 and then it started to reject. And once it rejected, that's good because we made a high over there. And whenever price creates a high, and if we're in a bullish trend, we know that that high is going to get retested. So that's what we're counting at over here. Will you be active on Slack during holiday season? Yes. Yes, I'm just not going to be doing any live streams for the holidays. But I'm going to be active on Slack. Come on, man. Slack is our community. Of course I'm going to be active there. Man, I'm just excited about the virtual class we're gonna have on the 20th. Just have to figure out a way how to stream it because it's on my whiteboard. I have a whiteboard over here, so that's gonna be on my whiteboard. Yeah, it's gonna be on a whiteboard. It's not gonna be a presentation or like PDF. No. Hey Raja. देख लो भाई ये चार्ट. ओके अभी देखते हैं भाई आपका चार्ट. आराम से इत्मीनान से. All right, let's see. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Euro USD. Hate this pair. Entered here when the candle broke through support. Oh, you entered a sell over here? Why is this thing all the way over here then? A retest expected, TP expected here. Oh, so you're already in this trade over here. Seems like it's just ranging. Yeah, seems like it's just ranging. Shabash. Well done. Let's take a look here at Euro USD. Euro USD. Euro USD daily time frame. Daily is extremely bullish. Looking to the left hand side, we have, oh wow, almost nothing. We have this one wick I see over here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It's right here. This wick, this tip of the wick right over here. And if we measure this range from here to over here, this is like 27-30 pip range. So another range right over here. We're going to draw this range like this. Now we're going to go back, and this is where we see that rejection. So looking at the 4 hour, seems like we're rejecting this area as resistance. We broke above a resistance right over here before. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, 30-minute time frame. Yeah, seems like we're creating a support over here. We have a resistance being formed over here. So we're in a range. Yeah, this is a range on Euro USD. Yeah, man, we're in a range over here. I mean, if we break above this area, let's see how big is this range over here. It's not enough range. It's like 12, 13, not enough at all. I mean, if you look at the selling side here below 1.21860, below 1.21860, you got like 6 pips, 11, maybe squeeze it till 17, 18, you know. So yeah. Okay.
Gold is at a current resistance right now, 1857. So be aware of that if you're in buys.
Mac, what do you think is happening on EJ?
On EJ, I don't look at EJ. Let me see. It just broke resistance. So next target that I see will be 126.300. That's a good 13 pip push.
Yeah, it's breaking the high over here too. The only thing is, what if it comes down? See, this is where the problems start. Will it continue moving because of the clean candle? Or will it retrace to make a support? So this is where you have to be really calm and just not take the trade once we break the high with one candle. Because what if it comes down to create a support? You know, those are the things you're keeping in mind.
Yeah, and EJ usually it tends to do a lot of breaks and retests, so just careful with that.
What's this? मुझे खुशी हुई है कि आप ये काम कर रहे हो. Oh, thank you. The guy said, I'm really happy you're doing this work.
Nice.
Yeah. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for some reliable, good. I don't know about life insurance, but I'm looking to get life insurance. And the only things I get from people are those sleazy salesmen. They're like, oh no, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I don't trust them. So I don't know what to look for when getting a life insurance.
I haven't even thought about life insurance.
I know a person, he's very good. Maybe he can help you out.
Okay, yeah, we can talk. Yeah, I'm looking to get a life insurance for my kids and for myself. My premium is going to be pretty high.
How come? You're healthy.
Yeah, we can probably argue. I'm healthy. I go to the gym. I work out.
Show them guns.
Show them the guns. Hey, will this bring the
these
premium?
20s? I better get a discount for these.
Raja, there are different type of insurances. Like one type which is cheaper one. You doesn't get anything back at the maturity date. Whatever gone, that's gone. But one is which is a little expensive. So if your insurance is like for 10 years or 20 years, you get back a good money if nothing happens to you.
Oh. Yeah, we're probably going to go with that. Or then if I die, then someone gets money.
Yeah, knock on wood, bro.
Yeah, you can nominate me.
All right. You know, people in the gulag, they call you the Indian Superman. Yeah.
Indian Superman for what?
I don't know, because you're always taking winning trades. So like, oh.
You know, Raja, I have taken losing trades as well, but November was the best month for me for my whole life.
Oh,
even
wow.
December is going very good. With one lot per week, I'm making like 8 to 10%.
Oh, nice. With one lot. Yeah, it's pretty good. So what changed in November for you?
I tried to study, the high time frame along with the low time frame. I used to trade some of the where I had smaller stop losses and I lost that trade. Then in next trade, I recovered that. So assuming sometimes like I did today, I had a hope like this candle will, it can break the wick of 15 minutes, but it would be hard for 30 minutes. So my stop loss was under 30 minutes candle. So it did work out. So there are some changes which I made in my planning. So that worked out.
Okay, okay, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like GJ is breaking up already.
Yep. We were right about the volume coming in with NYSE coming up here pretty soon. Oh, what? I have a 300,000 policy for $60 a month life term. Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but do you have to do that forever though? But you got to be careful, Rakeel, because there's some
Hey, everybody.
that you can do for 20 years. You know what I mean? And then once you're done in 20 years, you can actually cash out yourself, as well as anything you pay in advance will gain 3 to 5% interest as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to be real careful on which ones. You know what I mean? Like I have a couple that are 20-year lives. So in like another 12 years, I'm done paying. I don't got to pay no more. You know?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. You know, like 20 years, 25 years. So what happens like if you die within 20 years?
Then you still, whoever the beneficiary is, gets your payment plus whatever interest is gained. Just
Oh.
don't fall in the trap, because a lot of people pay these ones that they're talking about, oh, I pay $5 a month. But what they don't tell you is that when you miss 1 month, you lose everything.
Whoa, for real?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
That's why everybody falls into those traps. That's why the best thing to do is like short-term plans, like 20 year. And, you know, I don't know what you guys got in Canada, but I'm sure you guys have similar.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
And as well as anything you pay in advance actually gains 3 to 5% interest on top of that. So it's like basically a bank. And on top of that, it's no liability. So nobody can touch that. The government can't come after it. Anyone sues you, they can't come after it.
Okay, so is that also tax deductible? No,
That,
right?
I'm not 100%. I'm
Oh.
not 100% on that one.
Okay, I'll have to look. Oh, that's tax free. Okay, perfect. Amazing. All right, 20 years. I'm locked in now.
Tax free with capital.
Yeah, because like my thing is, I mean, so I have kids, right? I have like my son is like 3 years old. So like, how I think is, if he's gonna become like in his 20s, and if something happens to me during that time, this should be good. You know, it's not like, oh, he didn't leave anything, right? So that's something I'm really thinking about now as I'm growing up.
And also, Raja, just to add on to it, since you know, the younger your child is, the cheaper it is for
yeah.
as well. So in a good way, it's like basically it's like better than a savings account, honestly, man. Because then they have the right to pull out money whenever they want after the 20 year.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
true.
Raja. Hey, Raja.
Hey.
Yeah, listen, I got a term life insurance. I pay only $115, but you know, I'm older than you are, so you're healthy anyway. So you can get a 20, 25 years old, term life insurance, and then you gotta risk how long it's gonna take you build your assets. So if you die, God forbid, before your time, so you can leave sums to your family,
Yeah.
like a life plan.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I mean, I'm planning until 70. So after 70, I got assets. So if I die, I can leave the assets to my family. That's the plan. But you pay less.
Okay.
I mean, that's the idea. You can.
Yeah.
The other insurance plan are very expensive, like a universal. I'm not a life insurance expert, but I know a little bit about it. So.
Yeah, it's like different products, right? Like you're gonna get a better product, you're gonna pay more. You're gonna get a slower one, you're gonna pay less. So
it's just like you take in a car insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's what it is. So you gotta protect your family in a term, like a term limit, like whatever the time you put yourself.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem, Raja.
Hey, Raja, I have a question.
Thank you so much, man. I'm heading out. Take care, man.
Yeah, I'm also heading out. Bye, guys. Be safe. Take care. And
All
get
right,
the
all right.
insurance plan.
All right, man.
All right, last question.
Yeah, guys.
I will call you. Can I call you? And I have some questions that's regarding some strategy and confidential.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that later.
Hey, Rakeel.
Hey.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Okay, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right.
Fire it up.
Man, at night.